In the heart of Asia lies Afghanistan, a country whose very location has shaped its destiny for thousands of years. Nestled between towering mountain ranges and vast deserts, Afghanistan stands as a testament to the enduring spirit of its people and the ever-shifting tides of history. This land has been molded by centuries of encounters, sometimes peaceful, often turbulent, where cultures, armies, and ideas have collided and mingled. Its rugged terrain has both protected and isolated its inhabitants, fostering a unique identity forged in resilience. For millennia, Afghanistan has served as a crossroads for empires, traders, and dreamers, earning its title as the heart of Asia. Merchants from distant lands once gathered in its bustling bazaars, exchanging not only goods but also stories, languages, and beliefs. Ancient caravans wound their way along the legendary Silk Road, braving treacherous mountain passes and arid plains. These routes connected the great civilizations of the East and West, making Afghanistan a vital link in the chain of global commerce and cultural exchange. Afghanistan's geography, bordering the Indian subcontinent, the Iranian plateau, and the Central Asian steppes, made it a bridge between worlds. Its position at the intersection of so many regions has shaped its destiny, drawing the attention of conquerors and travelers alike. Over the centuries, waves of influence from Persia, India, Greece, China, and the Arab world have swept across this land. Each left their mark, blending together to create a culture rich in diversity, where languages, traditions, and art forms intermingle in vibrant harmony. Great cities like Balkh and Herat once flourished as centers of learning, art, and spirituality. Scholars gathered in their libraries, poets composed verses that echoed through the ages, and artisans crafted masterpieces that still inspire awe today. Yet Afghanistan's strategic importance has also made it a coveted prize for conquerors throughout history. From the armies of Alexander the Great to the Mongol hordes, from British imperial forces to modern superpowers, many have sought to control this land, leaving behind scars and stories of resistance. But Afghanistan's story is not defined solely by conflict. It is a tale of resilience, adaptation, and cultural fusion. Its people have endured hardship and upheaval, yet they continue to celebrate life, preserve their heritage, and look to the future with hope. To truly understand this nation, one must look beyond the headlines and see the layers of history etched into its land and people. Every stone, every face, every melody tells a story of survival, creativity, and connection to a rich past. Afghanistan's fate has always been intertwined with the wider world. Its position at the center of ancient and modern trade routes continues to shape its role in regional and global affairs. Today, Afghanistan remains a place of profound history and enduring spirit. Its cities and villages are alive with tradition, its landscapes echo with the footsteps of countless generations, and its people carry forward the legacy of their ancestors. The heart of Asia continues to beat, connecting past and present, tradition and change. Afghanistan's journey is one of transformation, where ancient customs meet the challenges and opportunities of the modern world. Its story is far from over. As new generations look to the horizon, Afghanistan stands poised at another crossroads, its future shaped by the strength, wisdom, and dreams of its people. Afghanistan's landscape is one of breathtaking extremes: soaring, snow-capped mountains, endless arid deserts, and winding rivers that carve life into the land. These natural features are not just scenery, they are the very backbone of the country, shaping every aspect of life and history here. The mighty Hindu Kush Range acts as a formidable barrier, splitting the nation into distinct regions. This division has isolated communities for centuries, fostering unique local cultures and shaping the identities of those who call these mountains home. Life here is a constant test of endurance. Harsh winters blanket villages in snow while scorching summers parch the earth. The people of Afghanistan have learned to adapt, their resilience forged by the land's unforgiving climate. In this challenging environment, life clings to the river valleys and scattered oases. Water is a precious resource, fiercely protected and often contested, as it sustains both people and crops in an otherwise dry land. The Amu Darya and Helmand rivers are more than just waterways. They are the lifeblood of Afghanistan. These rivers make agriculture possible, support entire communities, and are essential for survival in a land where water is scarce. Over centuries, the country's rugged geography has fostered strong local identities and deepened the rich tapestry of ethnic diversity. Each group has adapted to its own corner of the land, developing unique traditions and ways of life. The land dictates how people live, what they grow, and how they endure. From wheat in the valleys to livestock in the highlands, every community's survival is tied to the rhythms of the earth. Afghanistan's challenging terrain has forged a tough, self-reliant population. Generations have learned to navigate the mountains and deserts, relying on resourcefulness and determination to thrive. Each valley and province tells its own story, shaped by the land and the people who inhabit it. The architecture, customs, and daily routines all reflect the unique challenges and opportunities of their environment. The land is both a barrier and a bond, dividing regions, yet also bringing people together at vital crossroads and riverbanks where life converges. In every corner of Afghanistan, the landscape shapes not just the way people live, but who they are. It is a force that influences every tradition, every challenge, and every triumph in Afghan life. Afghanistan's history stretches back over 50,000 years, a cradle of civilization and crossroads of empires. Ancient trade and lapis lazuli linked it to Egypt and Mesopotamia. Alexander the Great's conquest left a legacy of Greco-Bactrian art and culture. Buddhism flourished here, with the Bamiyan Buddhas standing as silent witnesses to a golden age. The arrival of Islam transformed the land, making it a center of learning and empire. Dynasties like the Ghaznavids built cities that became beacons of science and poetry. Afghanistan's past is a tapestry of faith, conquest, and creativity. In the 19th century, Afghanistan became the battleground for the British and Russian empires, the Great Game. Fierce resistance preserved its independence, but left deep scars. King Amanullah Khan's push for modernization sparked rebellion, revealing the tension between tradition and change. The Cold War brought Soviet invasion and a decade of brutal war, with the Mujahideen fighting back with foreign support. The Soviet withdrawal led to civil war, and the rise of the Taliban, who promised order but imposed harsh rule. Decades of conflict have shaped Afghanistan's modern identity. Each wave of intervention left the country more fractured. The struggle for control continues to define its recent history. Afghanistan's resilience endures through every upheaval. In August 2021, the Taliban swept back into power, marking a dramatic shift in Afghanistan's political landscape. They re-established the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, a regime rooted in their strict interpretation of Islamic law and traditions. The return of the Taliban ended 2 decades of efforts to build a democratic government and signaled the start of a new era for the Afghan people. The Taliban's government is led from Kandahar, their traditional stronghold. Despite their control over most of the country, no foreign government has officially recognized their rule. This lack of recognition has left Afghanistan diplomatically isolated, cut off from much of the international community, and facing severe economic challenges. Daily life is now governed by the Taliban's strict interpretation of Sharia law. This has brought sweeping changes, especially for women and girls, who face severe restrictions on their rights, movement, and participation in society. Public freedoms have been sharply curtailed, and the atmosphere in cities is one of caution and fear. Girls are now barred from attending secondary and higher education, a move that has dashed the hopes of an entire generation and drawn widespread condemnation from around the world. Women are excluded from most forms of employment and public life. Many are confined to their homes, unable to pursue careers, education, or even basic freedoms they once enjoyed. Entertainment and media are tightly controlled by the authorities. Independent journalism is nearly impossible, and any form of dissent or criticism is met with harsh consequences. Cinemas remain closed and television is heavily censored. While the Taliban claim to have improved security in some areas, this has come at the cost of personal freedoms. Streets are quieter, but the sense of fear and surveillance is ever present. Ordinary Afghans must now navigate a new reality filled with uncertainty and constraint. Every aspect of daily life is shaped by the rules and presence of the Taliban. The social fabric of Afghanistan, especially in its cities, has been fundamentally altered. Tensions run high, and the once vibrant public life has been replaced by caution and silence. Millions of women and girls have been effectively erased from public life. Their absence is felt everywhere, from schools and workplaces to parks and markets. The world watches Afghanistan with concern and uncertainty, unsure of what the future holds for its people under Taliban rule. Life under the Taliban is a complex mix of order and oppression. For many Afghans, hope is in short supply and the path forward remains unclear. Afghanistan's economy is fragile, battered by decades of war and now cut off from international aid. Most Afghans depend on agriculture, wheat, fruits and livestock, but drought and instability threaten food security. The sudden loss of foreign aid after 2021 triggered economic collapse and widespread poverty. The opium trade remains a lifeline for many, despite official bans. Vast mineral wealth lies untapped due to insecurity and lack of infrastructure. The banking system barely functions, skilled workers have fled, soaring prices and joblessness define daily life. The government struggles to provide basic services, survival is a daily challenge for millions. Afghanistan's economic future is deeply uncertain, the people endure, adapting to hardship. Afghanistan is a mosaic of ethnic groups, Pashtuns, Tajiks, Hazaras, Uzbeks, each with distinct languages and traditions. Dari and Pashto are the official languages reflecting the country's diversity. Rich cultural traditions persist. Poetry, music, hand-woven carpets tell stories of heritage and resilience. Hospitality is central. Even the poorest families honor guests with generosity. Food, like Kabuli pulao, brings people together. Sports, especially buzkashi, showcase Afghan toughness and spirit. Despite decades of conflict, culture endures. Afghan identity is rooted in community, faith, and tradition. Afghanistan is home to breathtaking landscapes and historic landmarks. The Minaret of Jam and the Blue Mosque in Mazar-e Sharif are testaments to its artistic and spiritual legacy. Herat's citadel and mosque recall a golden age of learning and culture. Bandi Amir's Blue Lakes and the remote Wakhan corridor reveal the country's natural wonders. These sites are reminders of Afghanistan's beauty and potential, often hidden by conflict. Preserving them is vital for national identity and hope. Decades of war have kept many treasures out of reach. Protecting these places means safeguarding the soul of the nation. Afghanistan's heritage is a source of pride and inspiration. Afghanistan faces a humanitarian crisis, hunger, poverty, and a collapsing healthcare system. Women's rights have been rolled back, threatening the country's future. Security remains fragile, with threats from extremist groups. International isolation complicates aid and economic recovery. The world struggles to balance humanitarian needs with political realities. Yet the Afghan people's resilience endures. They have survived empires, wars, and upheaval, holding on to culture and dignity. Hope lies in the strength of communities and the dreams of the next generation. The path ahead is uncertain, but the spirit of Afghanistan remains unbroken. The story of Afghanistan is one of endurance, hope, and the will to rebuild.